Good morning, students. Students, as you know, in the part A of this lecture on the galvanic cell, we discussed with you the Daniell cell. And what we discussed in the Daniell cell, that it consists of the two half cell. One is oxidation half cell and other is a reduction half cell. In oxidation half cell, we have a zinc electrode dipped in the solution of a zinc sulfate and the copper electrode dipped in the solution of a copper sulfate. Now, when the cell circuit completes, the flow of current comes towards the left side, so flow of electron is from the zinc towards the copper. And I told you in the previous lecture that the zinc will be anode. The sign convention for zinc will be, it will be a negative electrode. Copper will be positive and the sign convention for this will be a copper is cathode, but it will be a positive electrode. The cell reaction, this was the last reaction. I explained to you that zinc when loses the 2 electron, it will result in the formation of zinc 2 positive ion and was called as the oxidation half cell. Copper 2 positive ion when gain the 2 electron, it result in the formation of copper and was called as the reduction half cell. This was the cell reaction. Do you remember this? Then anode was positive in the electrolytic cell, in the galvanic cell it is negative. Cathode is negative, here the cathode is positive. Flow of electron was same in both the cases, anode to cathode. In the galvanic cell also it was anode to cathode. Now, if we continue from the previous lecture, this cell representation is very clear. I also told you by the correction in the last lecture, the device in which redox reaction is used to convert the chemical energy into electrical energy is called as a galvanic cell or a voltaic cell. So, we will continue from our previous lecture where I made and explained all this which is written on the board over here. Now, next is the cell representation over here, cell representation. So, how do we represent a Daniell cell? So, here we continue from the previous lecture with the same thing written on the board, and that is cell representation. Student, always remember, in the cell representation, oxidation half cell will be written towards the left and the reduction half cell will be written towards the right. So, how do we represent the cell? This is a zinc electrode. Am I clear? Zinc anode is dipped in the solution of a zinc sulfate. We have a zinc electrode which is dipped in the solution of a zinc sulfate. And then over here we have a salt bridge. In the salt bridge we will have a solution of copper sulfate in which the copper electrode is dipped. This is how the representation of a cell is done. Now, zinc electrode is a solid electrode. It is dipped in the zinc sulfate solution which is aqueous. Copper sulfate solution, it is also aqueous. Zinc is a negative electrode and this will be acting as anode. Zinc is a negative electrode and will be acting as anode. Am I clear? Copper is a positive electrode. Although zinc is anode, it should be positive, but the sign convention as discussed in the last lecture was negative. And copper over here will be acting as cathode, but it will be a positive electrode. So, in this half, zinc is being oxidized to zinc 2 positive ion. So, this half cell is called as the oxidation half cell. So, what do we call this half cell? It is called as oxidation half cell. Am I clear? Here, this will be called as a cell and this will be called as a reduction half cell. So, we have an oxidation half cell and a reduction half cell. In this representation of a cell, zinc anode is written toward the left hand side. I mean to say dipped in the zinc sulfate solution. So, oxidation half cell is always written toward the left and the reduction half cell is always written towards the right. The sign convention of anode is negative, whereas the sign convention of cathode will be a positive electrode. So, zinc is a negative electrode, whereas copper electrode will be a positive electrode. Am I clear, student? Now, if you look at the flow of current and the flow of electron, although that is not represented in the cell. But if you want to represent over here, flow of electron will be from zinc to copper. Flow of electron will be from zinc towards copper. And the flow of current will be from copper towards the zinc. So if we opposite will be the flow of current. This is a flow of current. Flow of current will be opposite to the flow of electron. Tell me whether I am getting it clear for you or not. So this is a flow of electron from zinc towards copper, and flow of current will be from copper towards the zinc. These two lines over here, these represent the internal connectivity between the two half cell, and this is a representation of a salt bridge. What does it represent? It represents a salt bridge. This single line over here, it represents a phase change from solid to the solution form, from solution to the solid form. So this single line over here represents change of phase. Change of phase. Am I clear? So this single line over here represent the change of phase. So this is one way by which the representation of cell can be done. Am I clear? Now student, we will discuss. Yes, there is one more way before I start discussing this chapter further. The cell can be represented in this manner also. So there is one more way for representation of a cell, and this will be zinc electrode is dipped in a solution of zinc ion. Instead of writing zinc sulfate, you may straight away write down zinc ion. Then you may write down over here as a salt bridge. Then here it will be a copper electrode, copper sulfate dipped in the solution of copper. Zinc ion over here will be the aqueous solution. Copper ion over here will be the aqueous solution. And as you know, zinc will be a negative electrode over here. It will be acting as anode. Copper will be a positive electrode. It will be acting as a cathode. Yes, this is a oxidation half, and this half will be a reduction half. Zinc electrode will be acting as an anode. The zinc electrode will be acting as anode, and copper electrode will be acting as cathode. Am I clear? Copper will be positive, zinc will be negative. The flow of current will be from zinc towards the copper. So either we represent the cell in this manner or we represent the cell in this manner. Is it getting clear? Now you may see over here, student, this is a U-shaped tube, and the internal connectivity between the two half cell is provided with a U-shaped tube, which is called as a salt bridge. So if I ask you what is salt bridge? Salt bridge is a U-shaped tube which is filled with the inert electrolyte. Now the question is, what are inert electrolyte? Now, as far as inert electrolytes are concerned, these are those electrolytes whose ions are neither involved in not involved in any chemical change, and they do not react chemically in any electrochemical process. Fine. So this will be called as a salt bridge. So now the salt bridge. What are salt bridge? Salt bridge is a U-shaped tube filled with the solution of the inert electrolyte. Fine. So what is salt bridge? It is a U-shaped tube. U-shaped tube. It is a U-shaped tube filled with the concentrated solution of the inert electrolyte. U-shaped tube filled with concentrated solution of a inert electrolyte. Filled with concentrated solution of inert electrolyte. Filled with the concentrated solution of a inert electrolyte. Am I clear? Now question arises, what are inert electrolyte? These electrolytes are those whose ions are not involved in any electrochemical change, nor do they react chemically with the electrolyte present in the solution. So what are inert electrolyte? Inert electrolyte. Those electrolytes whose ions are not involved in any electrochemical change. So these are those electrolytes whose ions are not involved, whose ions are not involved in any electrochemical change, whose ions are not involved in any electrochemical change. They are not involved in any electrochemical change. Whose ions are not involved in any electrochemical change, nor do they react chemically with the electrolyte present in the solution. Nor do they react chemically with the electrolyte present in the solution. Chemically with the electrolyte present in the solution. With electrolyte present in the solution. Present in solution. Am I clear? As for example, potassium chloride, potassium nitrate, ammonium nitrate, etc. As for example, potassium chloride, potassium nitrate, ammonium nitrate, etc. Ammonium nitrate, etc. Is it clear? Yes? Now the question is, why have we used the salt bridge in the electrochemical cell? So significance of the salt bridge. What will be the significance of salt bridge? Now, as far as the significance of the salt bridge is concerned, the first one is, it connects the two half cell and complete the cell circuit. Am I clear? First significance is, it connects the two half cell and complete the cell circuit. It connects the two half cells and complete the cell circuit. Connect the two half cell and complete the cell circuit. Tell me whether I am getting it clear for you or not. Yes? The internal connectivity between the two was provided by the salt bridge. Then it prevents the transference of the solution from one half cell to another. It prevents the transference. It prevents the transference of the solution from one half cell to another. Transference of solution from one half cell to another. From one half cell to another. Is it clear? So it prevents the transference of the solution from one half cell to another. Then it keeps the solution in the two half cell electrically neutral. It keeps the solution in two half cell electrically neutral. It keeps the solution in the two half cell electrically neutral. Now remember, this is a very important point. The discussion of this will be done in the next lecture. How does it keep the solution in the two half cell electrically neutral? And then it prevents liquid-liquid junction potential. That is the potential difference which arises between the two solutions when in contact with each other. Fine. So, it prevents liquid-liquid junction potential. It prevents liquid junction potential. It prevents the liquid-liquid junction potential. And what is this liquid-liquid junction potential? The potential difference which arises in between the two liquids when in contact with each other. Is it clear? So, it will prevent the liquid-liquid junction potential, that is the potential difference which arises in between the two liquids when in contact with each other. I think I shall be very clear. So, what is salt bridge? It is a U-shaped tube filled with the concentrated solution of an inert electrolyte. What is inert electrolyte? Those electrolytes whose ions are not involved in any electrochemical change, nor do they react chemically with the electrolyte present in the solution. Now, what is the significance of a salt bridge? It connects the two half cell and complete the cell circuit. Then, it prevents the transference of the solution from one half cell to another. Then, it keeps the solution in the two half cell electrically neutral and prevents the liquid-liquid junction potential. Now, one important thing which you must note down, the student, and that is for the Daniell cell. For the Daniell cell, if external EMF of the cell, E external, this is equal to 1.1 volt, then no flow of electron or the current occurs. Then no flow of electron or current occurs. Am I clear? Then in that case, no flow of electron or the current occurs. However, if E external EMF is less than 1.1 volt, it is less than 1.1 volt, then the electron flows from zinc to the copper electrode, as we have done in the Daniell cell. Then electron flows from zinc to copper electrode. Am I clear? Fine. Then the flow of electron will be from zinc to the copper electrode. Electron flows from zinc towards the copper electrode. Is it clear? It means when electron flows from zinc, zinc dissolves at the anode and copper deposits at the cathode. That is, zinc dissolves at anode and copper deposits at cathode, and the copper deposits at cathode. Am I clear? Now, if E external is greater than 1.1 volt, fine, then in that case, electron flow from copper towards zinc. Then electron flows from copper to zinc. Then the electron flows from copper to zinc. It means copper dissolves and zinc deposits at the zinc electrode. That is, copper dissolves and zinc, copper electrode dissolves and zinc deposits at zinc electrode. Zinc deposits at the zinc electrode. Is it clear, student? So, you must remember these points. I hope you must have been very clear. It must have been very clear to you. So, we have done with you in these two lectures of a part A and part B of the lectures of galvanic cell, something about the galvanic cell and something about the Salt bridge and the representation of a galvanic cell. Student, you must have noticed that one of the function of a Salt bridge is to prevent the junction potential and keep the solution in the two half cell electrically neutral. To prevent the junction potential, or I must say when the electrodes are dipped in the electrolytic solution, there develops a potential difference between the electrode and the electrolytic solution, that is called the electrode potential. In our next lecture, we will be discussing with you electrode potential. Till then, I expect you to revise this work, make a notes of it. We will meet again in the next lecture. Till then, thank you.